Donna Adelson was arrested, perhaps trying to flee the United States. Her son has recently been convicted of murdering his brother-in-law, the sister's husband, Dan Markel, almost 10 years ago. Donna has now been arrested. There are lots of search warrants that have been filed in this case for every technological everything you can imagine. If it has a battery and a drive, they are searching it. Computers, phones, and all of it. So will we see Donna's husband also be arrested in this case? Maybe. But let's talk about real quick what's going on with Adelson. So Donna Adelson is now at the beginning of the process to be prosecuted and has decided that she's going to hire the same attorneys that represented her son. There is a lot of conflict there. Conflict meaning those attorneys, even though the prosecution of Charlie Adelson is complete, those attorneys still owe duties to Charlie Adelson. So if you are the lawyer and you think, hey, the natural argument here is Donna didn't do this, Charlie's been convicted, that dude over there did the killing. If that's going to be your defense strategy, which if you're Donna's attorneys, seems like a decent strategy. I didn't know what my son was up to. My son asked me to do things and I am just ho-hum. I'm just a little old lady loving mother and I didn't do any of this and I was just my son, whatever. Then if that's your defense strategy, Charlie Adelson's attorneys can't do that because they still owe duties to Charlie Adelson. So the judge is going to have to go through the waivers to say there is a conflict between these attorneys and you. And you're going to have to decide that that's okay. And apparently she thinks this is a good idea. Charlie Adelson was convicted and sentenced to like multiple life terms in prison. I don't know why these are the attorneys she wants to hire. In attorney conflict, and I am not going to get deep into attorney ethics and attorney conflict, there are some conflicts that you can waive, and there are some conflicts that are not waivable. This is a waivable conflict, and they are going to go through all those factors with Donna, and she has to swear and waive the conflict. Meaning, if down the road Donna wants to say, my attorneys didn't do a good job for me because they were Charlie's attorney, it's not going to fly. She has waived the conflict. She can't raise it again. It's not going to be a way that she can appeal her case because her attorneys were conflicted. She's waiving it. She can't bring it up again. She can't complain. You get to choose your own life, boo. This is probably a bad choice.
Or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You can lower your hand. Ms. Adelson, do you understand under the Constitution you have the right to conflict-free representation?
I do.
As it relates to your current attorney, Mr. Rauschbaum, representing you, you understand that he has certain duties as it relates to his prior representation with your son?
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
You understand his prior duty of confidence that he must maintain under the rules of professional responsibility in some way could affect your representation.
Completely different angle.
I do, Your Honor.
And do you also understand in deciding whether or not to waive any conflict concerning this matter, you have the right to obtain independent counsel on that matter?
I do, Your Honor.
Have you been able to discuss with independent counsel whether or not you waive any conflicts as it relates to the prior representation of your son?
I have, Your Honor.
And are you in fact waiving any such conflicts?
I am, Your Honor.
There is a second issue as well as it relates to the rules of professional responsibility for attorneys. There is another prohibition within them that deals with the matter of an attorney possibly being a witness in a case. I do not know if the state would seek to call your attorney as a witness for any matter. However, you understand an attorney cannot be both advocate and witness in the same case.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Do you understand as well if the state attempted to call your attorney for any reason that could materially affect your defense?
I understand.
Do you also understand you have the right to obtain independent counsel to assist you in making the decision as to whether or not you wish to waive this conflict, or even potential of conflict, I should say?
It's a bad
Yes,
idea.
I'm aware of that, Your Honor.
And do you waive this potential conflict as well?
I do.
Mr. Rauschbaum, do you wish there to be any further inquiry as it would pertain to Lazarlet versus State?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Adelson. That will conclude all testimony that I will need from you today.
All right. And those were the few brief moments of Donna Adelson on Zoom with the court. We will cover the next hearing on February 12th or the next day. So with all of that, there's not much else going on in this case until the next hearing. It looks like the next hearing is for 2/12 at 2:30. We will cover the next hearing. Then we should have a trial date probably sometime this year, I would imagine. And then as they get into discovery, we might see some more court dates. But the next CMC date will kind of set the mood for how this is going forward. And then that's it. Then it will go to trial. So yay, yay Adelson. For deep dives into the stories that I covered here, you can find them on my YouTube channel at The Emily D. Baker and The Emily Show podcast. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. The podcast goes live on Wednesdays. And if you want to stay in the loop with everything I'm doing, receive the fastest notifications out there, and get more Law Nerd community, join me at lawnerdapp.com, our free app for iOS and Android.